the beautiful women who are here for our first Girl Gang conversation. My name is Aisha from the Girlfriend Manifesto.
And I'm Shanda from the Girlfriend Manifesto. Hello, everybody.
And I just wanted to take a second or a minute while it's 11:11. There's a reason we chose to do this chat on 1/11 at 11:11. So just take a minute and kind of ground down and close your eyes. And we know that ones are all about abundance and manifestation, and even things happen a little bit quicker at 11:11. So let's just ground down into our intention and think about what we're trying to build in the world and what we can do to water that idea or that desire. So it is. And so we're actually one woman down. I may be kind of fiddling over here trying to get Lisa back on the call, but I just want to start off with introductions. Again, thank you everyone who is watching live and all of the beautiful women who are here. Shanda, do you want to start out with our first intro?
Sure. We have Erin. Erin, actually, she is a healing goddess, and Erin was actually featured as one of 6 women featured on the Refinery 29 as one who is redefining wellness in NYC in New York. She has a private practice in New York called Radiant Heart Acupuncture. And Aisha, do you have someone?
Yes. So
you're
Amber, I would love to introduce Amber next. And Amber encourages everyone she meets to be their authentic, true self. As a woman newly in her 30s club and loving it, welcome, by the way.
Thank you.
A new town supporting her offering, Naked Divine, where she and her soul sister, Jen Parma, lead transformational workshops. Welcome to the Girl Gang, Amber.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be part of the gang.
Shanda?
And then Agnes, Agnes is here. She's part of, she's here. And Agnes is also just like Erin. They're both 2 healing goddesses that we have here as part of the Girl Gang. And Agnes, she calls herself a spiritual gangstress, which I love that title. She is creating a goddess girl gang, which their motto is magic for girls like us. And she's just a bundle of spiritual goodness. And we have, she has more that you can actually check out more of her bio and Erin's bio on the Facebook and on our Facebook page. Who do you have next, Aisha?
So the last person is Lisa, and we're having technical difficulties, and it makes me so sad because she's such a wise, beautiful woman. I'm hoping that she can join. I will introduce her anyway. I think the chat works, so if you have something to say and we can't get you on, Lisa, please feel free to chat us up. But Lisa Zahia is a dance instructor. She's a movement studio owner, a coach, and a speaker based in Asheville. She uses the power of the dance to transform lives. Welcome to the Girl Gang. I'm sorry we can't see you. I don't know if it's Mercury retrograde, but we've had a hard time.
Probably.
We're all glad to be here having a conversation. So welcome, everybody. Do we get everybody? Everyone knows me and Shanda. So if you need more information on any of these women, all of their bios are on our Facebook page. And so we have a live chat option, and we do have people logging on, which is nice.
And to anyone who's watching live, listening live, you can submit a question to anyone specifically or to all of us in the chat box that you might see. I believe it's on your right side, your right-hand side, if you're on your computer or laptop.
So just to get right into it, we've had some good questions that people have asked us, and one of the reasons that I wanted to form the Girlfriend Manifesto, first of all, was just to bring women's voices to the forefront. And I started seeing this support your local girl gang, and I really love the idea of how we flipped it and we turned it into something positive. And so I was like, I need a girl gang, and I wanted to ask some of the most strong, powerful, beautiful women that I knew of to be a part of it. And one thing I want to do before we get into that discussion is, let's start with Agnes. It's just a fun little exercise, and it's called Tweet Temperature. So we're just going to take your temperature right now about how you're feeling about the new year or an intention that you have, and it's got to be in 140 characters. So what is that, like 15 words maybe? Just a real quick how you're feeling about the new year.
The new year is actually a big year for me. I'm going to be 40. Yeah, so I'm just really excited. I'm going to just surrender everything, and I want to show up for myself. I want to romance my life and myself and my friends, and I'm going to do this full force. I'm going to try to ease out on what my 9 to 5 is and do this like forever and ever and ever.
That was like 10 tweets, but we needed every single one. Thank you. Okay, Amber, real quick, let's take your tweet temperature. Give us a tweet about how you're feeling about the new year, an intention that you have. Go for it.
My tweet. I don't tweet, so I'm just really excited. So far, so good. We're on the 11th day. Everything that I've been asking for has been happening since day one. Getting accepted into Spirit Weavers Gathering to offer with Jen and Naked Divine. So all dreams are coming true. That's what it is. 2016.
That's beautiful. Erin, what is your tweet?
This year I'm taking my hands off the wheel. I have high intentions, but I'm really partnering like more with Spirit than ever before, and just letting it get really good.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So one of the questions that we got actually was for Amber, and we'll start off with that one, but it was kind of a threefold question, so I want to get everyone to kind of chip in and see what they feel. There was definitely a theme that arose when we started doing this, and most of the questions were really about how do I step fully into my passion, and we have one for the mamas. I'm glad Agnes is on the call because there's a lot of moms that wanted to know about the added pressure of being a mom and how they do that. But we'll start off with this one, Amber. Someone wanted to know if you've ever done the corporate thing and how you got out of it.
I haven't done full corporate. I have worked. I worked the American life. I did some American work as far as restaurant jobs and that kind of thing, and being stuck in that grind. But that just wasn't for me. I'm more of a gig life person, and I just wasn't my thing. So I didn't go to college. I just lived through being a student of life.
You've always just been a free, divine, wild self child.
Pretty much. So yeah, I haven't done that. That wasn't my path. So for me to get out of it, though, I was definitely pulled into it because you think, well, this life is so hard doing. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Maybe I should take that route. But I just stuck with my guns and went with my intuition, was to just continue on and learning every day and enjoying what I like. I just want to enjoy what I do, and that to me just wasn't fun. Yeah. So even if the consequences, if it seems challenging, it's still better for me than doing something that I'm not into.
Yeah, that definitely touches on sort of what the next question was, and I'd love for Erin to kind of chime in on this one. And where does the trust come from to heed your highest calling? I loved that question, and I kind of want everyone to chime in and tell me what they think about that.
Where does the trust come from? That's a big one. I think it's like it's trial and error. It's moving through your life and working from your heart. Asking your body what your body has to tell you, relying on your body wisdom, and testing out your intuition. So doing what feels right, and then kind of checking that against how it plays out in your life. But I think the more I follow my heart, the more I see, yes, that was the right choice. That was the correct move. That felt good. Now I'm having more fun. Things opened up for me. So the more I can trust my heart and just kind of check that against what unfolds in my life and what direction is presented to me when I do follow my heart, then you just trust more and more and more.
I agree. Yeah, the more you jump, the easier it is.
Yeah.
The more risks you take, you're like, oh, okay, I made it through that one. Here we go.
Yeah, definitely. The stronger your wings get, I feel like.
I think also when, even if you're doing work and there's a hustle and it's not, even if you enjoy the hustle and it's hard and you're sweating and you're crying, you still enjoy it and it makes you happy, then you know it's the right path and that's the right decision. Because you could be doing something that you just completely, that kills your soul. And then those are the signs. And you have to pay attention to the signs. You always have to pay attention to the signs out there.
Yeah, and for me,
it's like
go ahead,
fulfilling.
Sandra.
No, I was just going to say it's kind of like it's more fulfilling, even though, you know, it's what you're doing. It may not be, you may not be making the amount of money that you want to make, but it's, you know, it's coming from the heart. You're doing what you love. So it's, you don't mind, you know, you don't mind it. And you don't mind that hustle. You don't mind the bustle or, you know, it always ends up being more fulfilling in the end.
Yeah, I feel like I totally agree. For anything that I've ever loved, I've worked harder than I ever have, but it's so rewarding. And when you're kind of trudging through something that doesn't feel authentic to you, it's not right for your soul. It really does suck your soul. It's really a drain. So
yeah,
that's beautiful. I'm gonna check and see if we've got any questions coming in. Shanda, were there other ones that you fielded?
I couldn't see, I think, because I'm on my tablet, so I'm not able to see the questions coming in.
Okay, actually, we got a lot. Hang on.
Oh wow! Yay!
Yes, you're able to chime in. Hang on. Let me tell these people that they are able to. They got it. So one of the top questions on here was, quit your job and follow your passion, even if you're a single mama.
I feel like she's talking about me. I think you just transition into it. You know, you do your 9 to 5. For me, it's like I do my 9 to 5, but then when I come home, I do my side hustle. I do this. I do things that I love, and you just work on it constantly, and you just transition it. You find your rhythm. You know, everybody has their own rhythm. So I'm finding mine, and I'm doing it. And the most important thing is find a tribe. Find women that will support you and that you can cry to. I have women that will come to my house just to hug me when I'm in tears and I can't breathe anymore, you know? And I am blessed, and I'm blessed. And I got rid of everyone that drained me. And when I did that, I was like bombarded with the most beautiful, amazing souls. And they are my tribe, and I could not do this without them. So I would just say transition slowly, surrender, learn to ask for help. I was so proud. I'm a single mom, and I used to think, oh no, I'm a single mom. I have to prove everybody wrong. No, I'm asking for help now. You know, I'm human. I need help. So that's what I do. That's what I do on a daily basis. And I cry. When I need to cry, I cry. When I laugh, I laugh.
Yeah.
And self-care.
Big time. And those are all things that we want to get into further.
Yeah.
Something that you said, I guess it was probably on your Instagram page that I want you to talk about a little bit more, was finally heeding the call. So was it a gradual thing? I mean, you kind of spoke to that, but everyone hears the call, and sometimes it usually takes people, you know, there's like a knocking that happens, and it sometimes takes people a little bit to finally say, okay, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to step into this life, especially if there's like any tug between what we're calling like a corporate world and like the world of a healer, of a woman who has been called to this path.
Yeah. I've been fighting it, you know, because I wanted stability. I thought like I needed stability. I have to care for my kids. I also have senior parents I have to take care of. But like everything around me was just falling apart, you know. I wasn't enjoying my job anymore, or I was just, I'm even physically, my body was falling apart. And I remember when Erin came to LA, I was so thankful, and I was in her class, and I was crying, just breathing and crying. And then I just had to put myself out there. I said, you know what, Agnes, it's your time. It is your time. Everything, you may not have, you know, this certification or that certification, but it's time. My life, everything I learned in my life were my lessons. It was my schooling, my thesis, everything. So here I am, and I listened, and I said, I told myself, okay, fine, we're on it. We're going to do this. We're going to do this right now. And I just listened to myself. It was everything, your body, your friends, your situation, your circumstances. If you don't listen, that's why I call Kali my girlfriend. She's my homegirl, because she will handle it for me.
Yeah, she tears some shit down for sure.
She will, and she will speak through me, and I'm like, did I just say that? You know? Yeah. So.
I love it. So, Erin, you're acquainted with Agnes. That's some powerful work that you're doing, and it's mainly through breath.
Well, it's, the breath is what I'm most excited about right now. I'm super thrilled about it because it's very, I've been an acupuncturist for almost 6 years, and I've been doing Reiki for probably like 4. And the breath is like my new thing, and it's so fast. It's so quick. And you get into it, and it's like a year of therapy or something. It's a mover and a shaker. And Agnes, I have to tell you, I was hanging out with Ruby from the Numinous the other day, and she was like, I am obsessed with AnyJam.
Oh.
So you're totally putting out the best stuff in the world. Like, you're really, like, your heart is so strong, and your wisdom is so powerful, and it's been a joy to witness you, and it's so exciting that you're stepping into something bigger.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm going to be in New York in May, so I will have a session with you for sure.
So yeah, the breath is it's wild for me because it moves so much emotion, and it opens the heart, and it inspires so much creativity, and it does it very fast.
Yeah.
So it's thrilling for me to work with that and to do it in groups too. I think group healing it's next level because we are so isolated. We're tribal people. Women need community, and you get so isolated, and you get worried about, oh, they're perfect. They have a perfect life. They look so together. And then you get together in a community, and you realize we're all struggling. We all have all these pain points that we're all trying to hold it together. And it's an equalizer. You get held by everybody. You see that everybody's working on the same thing and going through it. And it creates a lot of love and a lot of movement and a lot of fun.
Erin, would you be willing to ground us at the very end with some sort of breathing exercise? That's one thing I was really excited to ask you about.
I mean, we can do the breath. It's not very grounding, though. It's a little bit of like a skyrocket.
Okay, well, skyrocket us then.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that now, or we can do that later, whenever you want to lead us through that.
Maybe the end, it would be a good laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay, I'm looking at some of the questions since Shanda can't see them. Someone put, I quit my job and I have no money, LOL. And I know who she is, and she may be laughing, but she's super talented, and I know the money will come. Someone said, life teaches you how to live if you live long enough. I guess that was a Tony Bennett quote. Who else? Oh, there's a question for a mama again. And I actually wrote down this one because it's kind of long, but there is a mom who she identifies as an empath, and she's a single mom, and so she finds herself being a little cranky with her daughter because she doesn't get any time away, and also that's something that she wants to be able to teach her daughter, but she's kind of caught in between these two places. How do you navigate that?
Caught in the two places of being a mom and wanting to be a nurturer and all that stuff?
Yeah, and not having, like you were saying, you asked for help. And so maybe this is a situation where she needs to ask for help, but being pulled between not having the time to pull away, but wanting to show her daughter, she said her daughter's really strong-willed, that self-care is important.
It is. It's really important. Well, my daughters are 14 and 22. So the 22-year-old does her thing. The 14-year-old and I, we are really strong personalities together. I really just, I create my space, and I make it known to them that I need that space because it's vital for me to be a great mom. So I kind of set those boundaries with my kids that mom needs this time alone. And it's not because I don't want to be with you. It's not because I don't love you. It's because we both need it, and you need your space. Like, I'm in the middle of creating her own, like, her room, and I want to teach her how to make it beautiful and how important it is to have her space. And then I do have, when she was younger, I did have a tribe. Like, I have a lot of cousins, and I did ask for help. I said, do you think you can watch my daughter if I need to do this? Or my parents, can you watch her while I did this? It really is about asking, and it is really about a community, and it does take a village. I believe in that very much so. So anyone that you can ask, you should, if you can, if you have that. And if your daughter's old enough to understand about the boundaries, I think it's really important for you to, instill that in her now, because she's going to need that as a woman growing up too, with her friends and with her peers and with her tribe, because it is very important. And even teach her little rituals. Like my daughter, she will sings all the time, and she's very musical, so that's her meditation, and she does that in her room. She has her Spotify on, and she does it for hours, and then she's learning these own rituals for herself, and she needs that to calm down. And I do my stuff, and and we separate, and it's okay. And I used to feel really guilty about it, but I've learned not to be guilty anymore. That guilt is heavy, especially for a mom. There's so much guilt that we think we're doing everything wrong if we don't look like the moms on TV or the moms on social media or the moms on Instagram. I just don't compare myself anymore as a mother either. I do the best that I possibly can.
That's really beautiful. Speaking of ritual, Amber, will you tell us a little bit about your offering and what you do? I know that I see all the beautiful photos of everything you're doing, and ritual plays a big part in your life.
Yes, it does. Well, with Naked Divine, we really concentrate with nature, so new moon circles and full moon circles we love so much. Rituals as far as ceremony, creating beautiful altars, and coming into circle together. Things that I do most full moons is yoni full moon gazing. Ooh. Or yoni sun gazing, which really has helped me with my cycle. It was so irregular for so long, but connecting with the moon has regulated my cycle. It's not nearly as severe as it used to be, so I definitely feel a ritual for me is nature. I have to be close to mother. Everything is much better. And dancing has become my medicine. And it's something that I really bring into our circles, building this fire in the circle that we just can release all of our anger and stress, and that it's okay to be in that rage, and it's okay to have that Kali energy, and it doesn't always have to be so beautiful and peaceful like yoga is. We think of it as something, so blissful, but we have to get that rage out. We're these wild women. So it's beautiful for us to come together in circle and just release that. And with the masculine energy, we also do circle work with men, so having that fire with our water, it's just become this like magnificent connection, and that's a big thing for Naked Divine is ritual.
Yeah. I love it how this group doesn't seem to be afraid of the darker energy, the Kali energy, and lately my only mantra has been don't be an asshole. And typically it's something so nice, but I'm like, this is all I can muster. The beginning of the year has been a little crazy. As some of you know, I'm dealing with a pet who is sick, and it sort of just came out of nowhere. And so I'd seen my mom through her death process, and then having to be sort of confronted with this. Like, I'm just like, don't be an asshole and your day will be okay. And actually that's been my mantra, and it's been okay for right now. It is what it is. It's not always beautiful, and it's not always pretty, but it is real. It is real.
Yeah, that's what I love about Mother Nature, right? She'll burn it down.
Yeah.
Or she'll flood it out, but we have to have that clearing. It is, like you said, it is what it is.
That's true. Rachel is saying Kali Ma. So there's a lot of women who are in agreement with, that powerful energy that needs to come from time to time and wipe everything out. We just got a question. It doesn't say who it's from, but does anyone have any specific rituals to help you manifest your desires, maybe specific to a moon phase that one can do on our own?
I definitely do a lot of writing gratitudes for new moon, and intention settings for the new moon always is something we do once a month at least. So that helps me a lot, and I feel it keeps you accountable when you can write it down and see it and put it somewhere so you can say, yes, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm focusing on, and always calling in the energy of Lakshmi, abundance.
Like
Oh,
she's
yeah.
a homegirl.
She is. She is.
Shanda, don't you have a powerful ritual about just writing?
I do. I tend to, what I had started doing was I would just write affirmations like 40 times, like the same, like one sentence. It could be, you know, I'm moving forward in abundance, or I'm moving forward in love, and I, especially when I'm feeling down and out about anything. It could be about family, it could be about myself, and just to pick my spirit back up, a lot of times I'll write something positive, like just one sentence, and I'll write it like 40 times, literally 40 times, sometimes a little bit less. I'll do that, and then I do a lot of that with my affirmations. And then what I started doing this year to start practicing with the new moons and the full moons, because I've never done that before, and actually Aisha kind of inspired me. What I do is when I can, I would go up on the roof and I'd light a candle, and I'd, at that moment, everything that I want to just just pull out of me something. It could be something that's bothering me, that's stressing me out, that's hurting me. It could be something that I'm really praying for, and I'm just been asking for, that I feel that I need, and I speak it out loud, and I pray. I might cry, but I go and I do that with the moon, with that candle. And I even took an incense last time, and I took my dog. So it was very comforting, and I didn't, it just felt right. So I that's something I definitely want to keep going, and it was new, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so Aaron and Shanda are both in New York. Aaron, do you find that rituals are, or especially ones where you're connected to the earth, are a challenge in New York? Do you go on your roof? Are you able to see the moon? How does that work out in the city?
I always find her. I can always like for sure. Sometimes I have to walk around the block, you know, walk a couple blocks up to like look above the buildings. I'm really blessed that I live a block away from a really big park, and I have a lot of trees in my neighborhood. But I mean, I kind of create, you know, symbology of the earth in my home. So I've got a lot of plants in here, like candles. I burn incense. And I think I can still feel connected. You know, I can see her out the window sometimes, usually in the middle of the night, and so, you know, it's much easier when, you know, you can walk out of your home and the dirt and the ground is right there. But we make do.
Yeah, I love that you create, you know, you bring the earth elements inside so you can always connect with them. That's a really good idea.
I brought some sticks inside. I'm like, I'm just gonna inside.
I love it.
Forest.
Agnes, do you have any specific rituals that you do? I have one I want to share, but I want to hear what you do.
Yeah, I do a lot of burning. And I burn a lot, and sometimes I tend to scare certain girlfriends that are not comfortable with it. But then I also do it a lot with girlfriends that it's fun when you do it with your friends, and I do wish papers a lot. A girlfriend introduced me to it, and there's also the flash paper that I learned from Erin, because why not make it dramatic? I'm a Pisces, why not?
Will you expound on the wish papers and the other exercise for those that don't know?
Wish paper, you can order it on Amazon. You write on it, and it's a little tissue paper, and then you'll just like write on it, you crumple it up, you turn it into a cylinder, and it's fun to do with the kids, and that's what I mean, bringing kids into ritual. And then you burn it, and what it does, it burns all the way down, and then it kind of just like flies up into ashes. I posted it on my Instagram a couple times, and it's beautiful. I love the little dramatic parts of it, you know. And then it makes it really fun. Or then, you know, or sometimes I'll just like, you know, free write, and then I'll just burn it in like my little abalone shell and just burn. You know, I'll cry it out. If I'm by myself and I really want to make some intense release or bring something beautiful in, then I'll just write it out and I'll burn it. But yeah, I always keep them in my bags when I go out to my nieces and nephews. I'm like, do you guys want to burn? You know?
They're like, you're our favorite.
So I try to make it fun, yeah.
I love it. One of the things that I love to do is I love to bring I tend to be pretty airy, so I like to bring grounding into practices that I do. And so I've been helping to facilitate this group called the Moon Gazers for the last year. And two of my favorite things that we did were we'll charge things. Like a lot of people are familiar with charging their stones and charging different things in the moonlight or the sunlight, but we'll put out like a moon tea, or we'll put out an apple and kind of just like hold it and give it our love and give it our intention and put it out, and then the next day like eat it for breakfast. And I swear, the best apple I've ever eaten, and I felt like I was like actually digesting my desires. And another one we did, which was one of my favorites, is like most women love a good soak in a bath, and so we made these dream-infused bath oils. So we just had like Epsom salt, some like roses, and we added different essential oils for how we wanted to feel. And so there are some that are good for abundance or whatever, and so we all did that on the new moon, and then on the full moon we bathed in our intention. So some of those are my favorite ways to just really feel like I'm embodying and like calling in what I desire. And then, you know, adding the wish papers or like saying affirmations out loud. Like I'm just like give it all to me. I wanna do it all.
Yeah.
Ditto.
You just have to have that energy to want to do it all the time. I mean, I'll be working out and I'll feel really good after like doing some cardio, and I'm manifesting as I'm sweating and as I'm working out. You know, anytime you feel amazing, that's when you just do it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing that me and Shanda practice. I'm like, if she's going someplace where I know she's going to be in her full joy, I'm like, hey, girl, remember, we're working on manifesting a thing. Like,
exactly, yeah.
Like, remember that. Let's think about it. Someone said I use candles specifically for rituals, especially when focusing on my own self-care practices. That's nice. A nice white light. Let's see.
On New Year's, I carved like what I wanted to bring out into, or any type of intention. If it's just a word, I carved it into the candle, and I burned it. Yeah, that was a new one I did.
And it's a candle that you burn like all the time, or?
No, it was just like a pillar candle, like this, and then I carved it in there.
Nice.
I love how you have all your props just waiting at a moment.
Right?
Like, I got my stones. What else you got in there, Agnes?
I know, I have a Mary Poppins bag. People make fun of me because I literally carry my altar like for work in my bag, and then I'm at work and I'm like setting my tarot cards up. I'm a graphic designer, so we can be creative, but I have everything like at my desk.
I have many altars everywhere in my car. Like I've even thought of, there's got to be a way to manufacture something that's like eco-friendly and it like holds your stones. And, like,
exactly.
Yeah. I love that.
We have more questions, Quinn? Is that the Bing?
Yeah, there's many Bings, but I'm sort of getting lost in what I've asked. There was a question recently that kind of gave me goosebumps, and I especially want to hear from everyone on this call, but what is your favorite thing about being a woman? I know, it's like, what do you settle into first? But I want to hear what all of you love about being a woman.
I love loving and nurturing, and I used to hold back a lot because I wanted to be a badass. And like I said, I was a single mom. I wanted to be like a badass. No, I don't get feelings. No, you know. But now I'm like, even if I crush on a guy, I will crush on him hard. You know, if I see my girlfriend, I hug her with my thigh and I put her to my chest. You know what I mean? Like I love that I can love, and I can do it freely, and that I can just nurture people. That's just like that's just us as women. We do that. Yeah.
I'm loving right now. I'm loving the sensuality of being a woman. I'm feeling you, Agnes. I'm turning 40. I turned 41 in December, and it's like increased appreciation for my body. So like the way that you can like roll down the street, the way that you can feel your hips move, the way that you can, you know, appreciate your body, and you can like gaze upon yourself and be like, I'm good with myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and just like, you know, all of it, you know.
Everything.
Really appreciate it. And then also being a feminine leader too. There's something like I was in my masculine energy for probably a large part of my life, like really leading with that. And I love being able to do it in a way to inhabit a space softly and vastly. I love that about me.
Yeah, the softness and the beauty, it's amazing.
Yeah. I think that as I've gotten older and more comfortable with my body and loving me, I'm more comfortable with my curves, and I love that about being a woman. Like, I could look at my hips like, it's so pretty and soft looking. Like, I just, I love that, and just the girly parts of being a woman. And also, I think I am like Agnes, like you said, like I never really try to be a badass, but I think I'm more accepting and loving the nurturing part of me, like being able to, I notice how I go out of my way, like making sure someone else is okay. You know, like, are you okay? Or do you need this? Do you need that? And it's okay. It's like it naturally comes to me, and I'm okay with that. And I love that part about, you know, being a woman, and whether I'm a mother or I'm not a mother, but I have that nurturing part in me, and it comes out all the time. So, yeah.
Amber?
I love all of your answers. I feel them so much. I'm definitely loving the fluidness of being able to just go with the flow with everything, like being like the ocean. You know, there's the tides are high, the tides are low, and being okay with that and accepting of where I am every day is so different, and not expecting anything other than where I am at this moment, and the fact that I am a woman, that it's not like, oh, it used to be, you can tell that there's a shift now. It's not like, oh, she's on her period, or oh, she needs to get laid, or oh, you know, like everyone's like, what is her situation? What's going on with her? Why is she feeling that way? But it's okay. It's all accepting. We can be everything.
Yeah.
And I think and the sisterhood. Oh, thank you for the sisterhood.
Woo!
Yeah.
I love being a woman and having all of my sisters.
Yeah, me too. One thing I just keep telling to a few key men in my life, especially when going through times of like losing a pet or something, there's just so much support that I get, and I just wonder how our masculine counterparts are doing without it. Like, it really pains me, because for so long I was in my masculine and I denied needing help, and I'm just every woman, I can do it all, I can keep going, and like, yeah, I can, but there is this softness about me, and now I can be like a total wild woman. Like, The Woman Who Run with Wolves is one of my favorite books.
Oh, yeah.
I identify so highly with all the quotes about just wildest nature that I suppressed for so long. So like, when coming back out, it's a bit of like, rah, like, here I am, like, I've suppressed all this for so long, you're just going to have to deal with it. And I think like it can be scary, but I think, I mean, it's life force energy, so people are attracted to it. And even when like men or masculine energy is scared by it, they're also just like, they want to get as close as they can to like figure it out.
Yeah.
Definitely in our circle work, because we do have the men and women together, I've definitely been able to see the men are so great at holding that space. Like, that's what they're good at, you know? But like, we're able to be all encompassing.
In it. Yeah.
I love being a woman. Woo!
Me too. I think we got another question. Oh, okay, so it's back to kind of the woman in a healer question, and this woman wants to know a practical step to take when you're trying to sort of edge out of your main 9-to-5 and into something new. Because, well, one thing I'll just say, and then I'll toss to you all, is I lately have been asking myself, like, what are the other possibilities? And so we all have stories surrounding our circumstances. So, you know, one I often hear is like, oh, the starving artist, or oh, whatever this is. And it's like, it's a strong energy because so many people believe it. But I'm like, well, what else is possible? There's got to be people that are thriving doing the exact same thing. And so one question and practical step that I've been asking myself is, what else is possible? Because like we write the story of our lives, and if there's only these two limited possibilities, then that's what's going to happen. But when you kind of like open up, like what else is possible? Like what are some steps that people could take?
Just taking, I think for me, personally, I think I'm not, I've been back and forth with the 9 to 5, and then coming off of the 9 to 5, and wanting to be like fully just not in a 9 to 5. And so I think the first step I'm trying to figure out myself is just making a plan of writing it out, and then just taking that step, just doing it. I mean, I think, because for me, that's how it's happened. I've had to just like, okay, I just have to do it. You know, I just have to just go, you know, just step out the door, just go that route. Of course, prayer and affirmations, everything, rituals that we've talked about. But I think the first step sometimes is just doing it, just action.
Yeah.
You know, because I know for me, I have a tendency in my past, but have been a really bad procrastinator. And if I didn't just take the step and just do it, I wouldn't. And that's just from my personal experience.
I think deciding that you're gonna do it, deciding that that's the direction you want to take. Because, like for me, for example, I don't know, I kind of want to do it, or a part of me wants to do it, and then it was back and forth, and there was no clarity. So once I decided and I declared it, especially to my closest friends, I saw things differently, you know. And then my 9 to 5 wasn't so hard anymore. Do you know what I mean? It was my 9 to 5, and I was actually I'm grateful for my 9 to 5. And then I come home and I handle this. So I think it's deciding for yourself, and then you see things differently. Yeah, that's what worked for me.
That's really powerful.
I had sort of like 2 different transitions that I took, where I was in my 9 to 5 and I hated it so much that I was praying for something else to come along. So when something else came along, and that was acupuncture school, I just jumped and quit my job and was like out. But there was, you know, financial support there with student loans and, you know, bartending on the weekends and all that stuff. But what I found most helpful for me when I decided to actually go into my private practice, I didn't want to keep on waiting tables. I didn't want to keep on bartending. You know, I racked up like 40 for debt, which is not the best route. But the thing that almost paid off, and like we're
nice.
But the thing that drove me forward was exactly what Shauna said, was like I would do 3 things every single day to move forward. So, you know, there were times when I had $20 in my bank account, but I would still be like, okay, you need to email this person, write this blog post, contact somebody else, pitch this thing, and I would just do 3 things every single day, and that kept me out of the freak out, the anxiety of not doing anything.
Yeah.
So action was super helpful.
Yeah, there's always something that's within our power. Like even if you have $20 in your bank account, you can send an email, and there's so many ways that we can connect now. Like action is like, I mean, it's key for sure.
Yeah.
Well, staying open and believing that what you want, you're going to get it. So saying yes. I feel like the universe and I have a really funny relationship. When it comes time to transform or do something new, it's never like an easy transition. It's like a craziness that you have to do it. Like, oh, well, okay, thanks. Yeah. There is no easy transition. Like, my plan doesn't ever work. So it's just being able to say, okay, like, I don't really know what I want, but I know I want something else, something better, and just staying open to whatever's going to come to you. Because once you let go and surrender, then everything starts to happen. But you just have to be able to be in a position to say yes and go, okay, I can do this, I want that, this looks good for me, that works for me, this feels good, and then, woo, you're rolling.
Yeah, and that was like a lot of what Erin was saying, was that she just wants to not be in the driver's seat. Like, and that speaks to who you both are, because you have so much faith in the goodness and the sweetness, and that there is this power that we are, and that we're also connected to, that is looking out for us. Like, it's got our back, and it like can dream 10 times bigger than we can, and just being like, okay, I'm the vessel, like, yeah. That's
cool.
Yeah, I think the whole like saying yes is really important because for me, I'm such an introvert, and even for tonight, like this, I was like, what is this Google Hangout? I've never done this before, and I'm gonna be so exposed, and people are gonna watch, and I was terrified. I was having so much anxiety sitting here before you guys came on, but I did it. You know, I even reached out to my girlfriends. I'm like, I'm really scared. I'm really scared. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. Just do it. And now I'm like, oh my God, what was I scared of?
Yeah, it's so human. When me and Shannon got on, we were like, and then like everyone got on, and it just happened. But it is scary to go past an old border. It feels like a physical death. And like as much as we want change, there's this part of us that just wants to stay comfortable. So it's like easing yourself out of your shell and into the next version of yourself is important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're glad you made it, Agnes.
Me too.
Someone said they love this group of women, and a bunch of people +1'd it. So thank you to everyone who stayed up late and watched. And so we're sort of winding down, and me and Shanda have these little fun fill-in-the-blank questions, and then maybe we can kind of like create this on-the-cuff group sort of ritual to seal everything in. We can do some breath work. We can do anything that we feel. But this is sort of a rapid-fire thing, and each person will get a chance to answer the question. Let's start with Agnes.
Okay.
True change happens when?
You take action and you decide. Yeah.
Amber?
True change happens when you want the true change.
You want it bad enough. That's good. Erin?
Oh, me. Sorry. Change happens when I show up, when I step up.
That's beautiful. Shanda, you want to chime in, or do you want to ask yours?
True change happens when we ask for it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Those are all really good. I think true change happens when, for me, when I get out of my own way. So I've got another one. What gets your heart racing? What turns you on? It can be anything. It doesn't just have to be like, you know.
Connection. Connection, like real soul connection with someone.
Yeah. That's all I have time for in my life. Like all of the, I don't know how to do easy. Like I talked to a girl that I had sort of known on Instagram for just a little bit, and at the end we're like, I love you, and like, I love you too, goodbye. You know, it's like connection is really, yeah. Who wants next? Shanda, what gets your heart racing? What turns you on?
I think a beard.
I could say beer or beard.
A beard. A beard is definitely yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all into that.
I'm from the train. I'm like, whoa. Okay.
I like the man bun in the beard. Yeah.
Exactly.
I hate it that that's a thing, you know, because there's so many dudes that were like rocking it before, and you know, now that it's like this like popular thing, it's
So like now I fit in. Okay.
Now everybody has it. It gives men like this like confidence and sometimes an ego, like a bad ego, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
When you know someone with a beard and then they shave it and you're like, who are you?
It is like
back tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like makeup for men.
That's so true.
It's makeup for men. What's under there?
That's good.
Amber, did you say what gets your heart racing and what turns you on?
What gets my heart? I mean, a good dancer. If we can get in that zone, like ecstatic dance, dance church, dance tribe, That is my thing. And when you can just be on the floor and your bodies are just like so in sync, ooh, yes.
I feel that one. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
I guess that's me. Other than yes, sensuality, all those sexy people out there. I right now what's really turning me on is teaching and just like being. I'm also an introvert, and so being in front of a big group of people, knowing that I need to show up and I need to like bring it. That gets my heart going in the best way.
I love it.
Thrilling, yeah.
Yeah, I think what turns me on, it's I guess it is connection, the root of it's connection, but really it's being connected to myself at any moment and no longer apologizing for things I used to and showing up more and more in my fullness. And it's messy and I fall down, but I wouldn't change it for anything. And it's just attracted so many wild, wonderful people into my life that I know that it's the path for me. And that's like what really, like, if things are crazy, that's what I always can like turn to and look at, and it feels great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shannon, did you have some?
I do. I have two, actually.
Okay, ask away.
So, let's start with Amber.
Oh.
Fill in the blank. Blank makes me smile.
Everything.
Yeah, that's the truest statement ever.
Believe it.
Really, it's true. Everything makes me smile.
Yay, that's
I love
beautiful.
that.
And what about you, Erin?
Really heart-centered connection, conversation, like those kind of moments where you feel, just like right now, where you feel like you're tapping into something and you're going to change the world and everything feels really good. Like that.
Love it. And Miss Agnes?
I don't know, the word connection comes into my head again, but I love what makes me smile, like genuine conversation and sarcasm and wit and just realness, you know? Just realness. You can use the F-bomb, I don't care. Just as long as you're so real, that makes me smile because it's so refreshing. It is so refreshing.
That's exactly what I want to piggyback on. Is like, I love meeting people who no longer give any fucks, and they just they are who they are, and you can connect immediately because there's not this wall up.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for a naughty joke. Like, you can like just inject some potty humor into most things. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be 90, and that's still going to work on me. So that always.
We'll all be together here at 90 on Google Talk.
We'll be the only ones still using it, though.
Yeah.
Well, like, I know how to use that.
And my last question was.
Wait, you have to answer.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think just genuine people make me smile. I'm pretty much a people person, and when I feel the good energy, like even like we all said, like in this conversation, and then also just like the conversations and connections I have with my friends and family, like that's really important to me. So it always makes me smile.
Yeah, family's big.
Yeah. And then the last question I have before we wrap it up is, my rapid fire question is, let's see. Erin, I find love in...
Just like Amber, everything. Everything. Yeah, it's everywhere. Just have to have your eyes open.
Yeah, definitely.
Pay attention.
And for you, Agnes?
I think I agree. Everywhere. It is everywhere. And it's sometimes in the most surprising things, but it's everywhere. Which I'm glad I could see it. And I can feel it.
Because a lot of people, I find that a lot of people don't. Like, I think a lot of people don't know how and don't realize that they can find love in everything.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are scared of it.
Yeah.
They're terrified of it.
Yeah,
It's like
definitely.
the thing you want the most, but you're the most terrified of having.
Yeah. I think a lot of people feel like it'll make them weak, but it makes you so strong, you know? Like I infuse myself with it all the time, and I feel like Wonder Woman every time I walk out my house. So.
Is that like when you said when you were in your like badass phase? Like when you did you find that you were blocking, like you would block that out? Did you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I didn't need anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I could do it all by myself, and I didn't need anybody, and then everything was just superficial. There was no deep connection at all with anyone. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we all see it. And for you, Amber, what do you feel that you find love in?
There's a Kimbra quote. She's a singer. She says, "I see love in all places. I see love in all faces." And I just love that quote. And even David Bowie, he had that quote about we're just meant to receive love and give love, and that's why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. The thread that I feel like connects all of it is just that we have chosen to see the magic, and it appears in different people. It appears in a pet. It appears in a cloud. Like if you're open and available, it's always going to follow you around. Like miracles are the natural order of the day, and when we all tap into that, then the magic and the synchronicities and all of the beautiful things can find their way into our experience.
Yeah. Is that what you find love in, Aisha? Because you didn't answer.
all things and magic. Like so, I summed it up, and it's like we see it in all things, but like it's so special to. I love telling stories of magical moments that just follow me around, or I get to experience, and I always have a friend who I can call, and friends always call me to tell me about their amazing synchronicities, and that's love. It's always taking care of us, and it's always there for us to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sisters.
Yes. So we only have a few minutes left, and I'd love to do some breathing with you, Erin, and then we can see just where it goes from there.
Okay. So, all right. So the breath that I work with is the 3-part breath, and you breathe into the. Oh, my poncho's all messy. Okay. So you breathe. The first breath is into your second chakra, so breathing into your low belly, and it's to move anything that's connected with our relationships, with our sexuality, with our creativity, any old wounds, any old pain, and it's just infusing that area with a lot of life. Using the breath as like a little scrub brush to kind of clean off, and I'm really rubbing my belly right now. I don't know if you guys are doing that too, but
now we are. Now I am.
And then the second breath is drawn up to the heart space to open and to infuse any kind of debris or any kind of darker heavier energy that came up to the heart, breathing in to cleanse and purify that energy, and then exhaling out of the mouth to release. So it's a little bit of a faster breath, but why don't we, with our feet on the ground, why don't we take a deep inhale, and before we inhale, knowing that we are inhaling into really dredge up any of the remnants, any of the little lingering bits and pieces of 2015 that are still hanging on, hanging out, nipping at our heels. So let's breathe deeply in together to let go of last year. So let's breathe in and exhaling it all out. And then breathing in the huge vastness that is this new year that we're already in, that we're just kind of sinking into. Let's breathe in together. And exhaling out. And then you guys can hear me. You won't really be able to see my body, but the tempo of the breath, it's going to make us feel sort of enlivened and vibrating. And we'll just maybe do it for 20 seconds just to feel what it feels like. So You can listen to my breath, and it's the first breath is into the belly, second into the heart, exhaling out of the mouth. So it sounds like this. So you can just release that breath, and you might feel a little tingling in your crown, a little lightheaded, a little vibrating in your body. Enjoy the battery.
I feel all of that. I feel like I'm buzzing.
Yeah, so it's like very quickly brings in vitality, and we would have to get into it for about 10 minutes before we would all start screaming and crying.
Yeah. Yes, I remember.
That's a good one for the toolbox.
Oh yeah. The beginning feels nice. So.
Yeah, one practice I like to do, and maybe this will be a good ending point, is just to kind of end on an I am. So whatever you're feeling in your heart, if you're feeling I am loving, I am complete, I am whatever you're feeling, we'll just all do that, and then we'll say goodbye, because it's been an hour and 11 minutes, like almost on the dot.
Yay!
So,
Wow.
thank you all, and who wants to start us off with their I am?
I am alive.
Woo!
I am grateful.
You stole the words out of my mouth. Like, I am so filled with gratitude. I was kind of feeling bummed out about a lot of things, and I knew that this is what I needed, so I'm hoping that other people feel the same way, and I'm filled with gratitude.
I feel like I'm in love.
We love you.
I love you too. Wow. That feeling, yeah. I have butterflies. I feel like my superpowers are activated. I feel ready. And yeah, I feel love. I feel great.
And I feel brave. This was just like Agnes, I think she said, we all probably had a little bit of anxiety about this and not knowing who's watching us and everything. So, Nation, I've always wanted to do something like this, like in different ways we've imagined it, and we're so thankful that you ladies, decided to come online with us. We really appreciate you and all those who are watching us and listening to us. We love you guys. We love every one of you. I hope I get to meet some of you guys, and especially Erin, since you're here, and Agnes, whenever you come in New York, and Amber, whenever you're here. Yeah. I love you and anyone else. This was great, and I enjoyed you guys so much.
I love hanging out with you.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is really amazing. Thank you guys for asking me.
We got our well, I was about to say something really bad. We got our cherries popped, like being online, all of us. This was my first real many people. So it was awesome.
And thank you to everyone who said yes to watching and yes being on it. And I hope everyone has a beautiful night. Erin, were you able to say what you?
Oh, I'm alive.
Oh, that's right. You started us off. That's right. Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm going to end the broadcast now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.